you guys rather The Thing come out or Poltergeist come out? Because this starts our Halloween.
Don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Okay. You guys not fans of The Thing?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I liked it. I just don't think we're going to be off topic much.
I agree. I feel this as well. How can you call yourself a horror fan if you've never seen this movie?
I agree.
I think it is a classic, and it is. I know, and you hadn't
First
seen
time.
it. I know.
Well, I never said I was a horror fan. I like horror movies,
Right.
but I'm not.
This-
I'm not
to
looking
me,
for
this
horror
is-
movies when I'm
Right,
looking
right.
for movies.
This is top tier because it's so many categories. You know,
it's a great suspense thriller in my mind.
people versus people. I
Yeah.
mean, that is what this movie is
Paranoia.
Definitely paranoia.
It is like The Mist. It is like.
I think it's worse than The Mist.
Oh, I agree. Mostly because they're all friends.
I mean, worse as in the paranoia.
Like the
Oh,
paranoia.
yeah.
I knew.
Not
I was like,
knew
it's not
exactly.
as-
What?
I'm not saying the movie is worse. No.
I knew exactly what you were saying.
Okay, good.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
my
insane. Just watched him.
Rick would have rolled over.
Oh, I know. I can hear him now.
He's also at a concert
left my
tonight. That's
damn
why he's
drink
showing
outside.
I was so
You're
looking
what?
forward
I
to
left
it.
my drink outside.
Go get it.
Go get it. You're good.
It's far.
That's fine.
Go on, Pep.
We're recording right now, so it's not a big deal.
It's fine. Here we go.
Here we
Our
are.
production value just went down.
Hell yeah. So Aaron Yeager is he's dead? Or is he not dead?
Who?
Aaron Yeager?
Who's Aaron Yeager?
Bro, Attack on Titan. Big dog.
Oh, I'm sorry.
you're
I don't think he's dead.
Not dead.
No.
Okay.
I was gonna watch it last night, but Jalissa wanted to watch Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah. Is that solid?
Oh, dude.
Funny?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I hear, but
Yeah. It's a comedy, and it's basically a modern Clue.
oh, fun.
Like they're trying to solve
Steve Martin, right?
Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena
Okay.
Gomez.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the cameos are insane.
Really?
Like in season 1, you had Nathan Lang, you have Sting.
Really?
Yeah, and this one, and Tina Fey. Like yeah.
Chelsea's up there lying to your boy,
About what?
telling him she didn't remember the clown in Poltergeist.
Oh my gosh.
You
She's
should get him
crazy.
the clown for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, he has no reference for it, so
Right.
it's not as good. They got to be afraid of it first.
Welcome to the News with Chill podcast. I am your host, Chill. Tonight we'll be reviewing The Thing from 1982. The Thing is a sci-fi horror mystery film directed by John Carpenter and written by Bill Lancaster, based on the 1951 movie The Thing from Another World and the 1938 novella Who Goes There, starring Kurt Russell, Anthony Wilford Brimley, T.K. Carter, David Clennon, Keith David, Richard Dysart, Charles Hallahan, and Peter Maloney.
Mulaney?
No, Maloney. The crew of the entire... No. The crew of an Antarctic research station became hunted by a shape-shifting alien. Tonight, as always, I am joined by David and Lee. How you boys doing tonight?
What's going on?
Oi.
Oi, oi. Have you guys watched anything new this week?
I watched The Thing.
Yeah.
I'm on season 3 of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Awesome.
How
Good so
is
far.
that?
It's solid.
Isn't Fitz and whatever her name is?
Simmons?
Simmons. They make the show from after season 2 for me. There's interesting things that kind of go on through, but
Yeah.
Fitz and Simmons make the show for
I
me.
like them.
So
That should be one name.
It is Fitzsimmons. That's what they say.
that's where that comes from.
Yeah,
No, I'm just messing
Those
with you.
two different people, right? Fitz
it
and
is.
Simmons.
But
Yeah.
it's Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Do you want to hear
Brangelina.
something depressing?
Sure.
Let's do it.
That Wilford Brimley was 48 when he made this movie.
He was 48 in 1982?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was younger.
Do you know he was 46 or 47 when he made Cocoon?
I
Wow.
thought Cocoon came out after.
He's or maybe he's 50 in Cocoon. 50 though.
Yeah.
In Cocoon, living in a retirement home.
Right.
Yeah, he's 48 in this movie. I looked it up.
You feel old yet?
It's terrible, isn't it?
I don't feel old.
Diabetes.
Never.
Man, we just hit season 4 One Piece, and you guys were talking about character dumps. Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
400 Sabadobi arc, and we
I
got
don't even know what any of that means.
Basically
he's
a
just saying
story
words.
within a story.
He's just saying
Yeah.
words.
so you got the overall story, and then you have little arcs.
Got it.
And then within these arcs, you have sub arcs. So that's where we're at right now. We're in a little sub arc
Gotcha.
for the overall arc. For the
But
overall
they just
story.
met 45 characters.
Yeah, we got 5 pirate crews. We get 3 general commanders, and then we get 2 warlords of the sea that were all introduced in one
Yep. Crickets.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I couldn't do it.
I have no interest in it, and
None.
I just don't know why. I will say that maybe Attack on Titans is like my introduction into anime. I'm definitely interested at this point in time, so if I can just get past the stupid screaming all the time, then I'll be fine. It really makes me mad.
Does it?
Yeah, it makes my blood boil, and I don't know why.
Could you
Irrational.
just calm down a little bit?
That was my impression of Calvin doing the screams from anime.
Oh, you gotta sound more like this.
Speaking of anime, I gotta. Anyway,
He's like, you guys suck.
you guys, this podcast is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
I picked this movie as one of our 4 Christmas Halloween
Yeah,
movies.
Christmas. Kind of. The snow threw you off.
Yeah, we had Poltergeist. We have The Thing. Our next ones coming up are gonna be
Strange Darling.
and
Talk to me. Yeah.
so
Cool.
pretty exciting.
Why'd you pick the thing?
I picked The Thing because we have a podcast friend goes by the name of Rick, and I was really hoping that he was going to be able to make
I
it.
want you to know he was genuinely bummed.
I know. I'm genuinely bummed.
He has a giant leg tattoo, the poster of The Thing.
No shit.
Yeah. He has Kurt Russell in the snow gear with the light coming from behind
We've
him.
literally
That's on his leg.
the last like 3 or
crazy.
4 episodes, I've been wanting to have him come back on the show because we had so much fun recording Jaws with him. So I was hoping that with The Thing, I can't blame him.
And Monday,
you know?
he messaged me and he said, hey, I think that his girlfriend had bought fake concert tickets because she hadn't received them yet. And so she was like, I might be down for Wednesday.
Yeah.
But then he messaged me and he said, no, they came in
What,
yesterday.
what was the
So
concert?
it's a metal band. I don't know.
Well, obviously.
I don't know metal bands. That's him.
It's Rick. It's got to be metal.
Screamo.
We're going to be doing this with Rickman in mind and in his honor. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Dope.
Cool. When was the first time you guys watched The Thing?
I was young.
2 days ago.
Craziness to me. Craziness. Again, I think it's one of those, the only times I could watch horror movies was on the AMC during,
Yeah.
whatever. And so The Thing came on and I was like, what is this? I knew John Carpenter made Halloween. And then I was like, oh, John Carpenter's The Thing?
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool. I'm going to be honest. I think I like this more than I like Halloween,
Yeah.
which is kind of a big statement.
I
but-
think it's just
It's a better movie.
It's a completely different movie.
Right.
There's so much going on in this movie.
Yeah.
I remember being little and this movie like terrifying me.
Oh, yeah. Getting into our icebreaker, what's your favorite or your least favorite John Carpenter movie?
Vampires.
Fires is your favorite?
Worst.
Oh, worst.
That's terrible. It's an F. Yep.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, it's terrible.
Does that need to make it into...
A certain film festival?
I don't think I've ever seen vampires, honestly.
It's awful. They tried to turn James Woods into a vampire hunter.
It sounds like it could be like
It's terrible.
comedic bad.
I
though.
saw it in the theater and I walked out of that like, I want my money back.
Really? Wow.
Wow, okay. I would have to say my favorite is Big Trouble in Little China.
That's such a
Yes,
great
it
movie.
is really
Lopan!
Yeah.
The girl with green eyes. Yeah, that should definitely be
Chinatown
for another
Jake.
time. I mean,
That's,
that's
a great Kurt
yeah.
Russell film.
Yeah.
I like the escape movies too.
Yeah, those are good.
You got a back way out of here?
Right?
Where is
Right.
it? It's in the back.
I'm a big fan of the movie Starman, which is like a sci-fi romance movie.
Really?
Have you ever seen it?
I've only seen parts of it. It just never grabbed me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very unique movie.
Yeah.
For sure. But I remember loving that when I was little. And it's like it's a
Bridges.
romance. Jeff Bridges. What's her name from Raiders?
Oh, yeah.
man. Yep. I know who you're talking about. God, Karen Allen. Oh, yeah.
That's her.
What?
Karen Allen.
So I'm looking at his movies. Okay, he must have just...
He made some
Produced it.
crazy. No,
Okay.
no. He has made some crazy movies. Like for as many great movies as he's made even more.
The Boy Who Could Fly. You remember that movie?
I do. So
He was the
dumb.
producer of that. It is a stupid movie, but it has
So Savage? Fred Savage?
Fred Savage, yeah, in it.
It's not Vandal, right?
That's Savage Brothers.
Yeah.
Wow, the Philadelphia Experiment. You remember that?
Boring.
I haven't seen it forever. All his movies are insane.
Yeah. Long
Like
list.
insane.
Yeah, I would say that The Thing probably tops my favorite John Carpenter movie. I remember my dad sat me down and we watched Assault on Precinct 13 for the first
Yeah.
time.
His first
Not
movie.
not the Ethan Hawke one, but the OG one. And I was like, wow, this is violent. This
Yeah.
is very violent.
Very violent.
I was gonna say he's just a producer in Halloween 3.
Season the Witch.
But we need to review They Live.
Yeah. I love the
It's
thing.
so stupid and
love
amazing.
It's so good.
It's you are ugly.
Most realistic fight scene in cinematic history.
It's true. Absolutely true.
Oh,
With the exhausted
Put
fight breaking
the damn
Marine.
glasses on. Nope.
Well, let's get back into the thing. Has a runtime of 109 minutes. Was released June 25th, 1982. Had a budget of $15 million and it grossed $19.9 million.
it's definitely made its money back in the long run. Though.
Oh,
Yeah.
most
I mean,
definitely.
this
Cult following.
It is. It's a huge cult too.
Tell me if you've heard this one before. Top box office for June of 1982. E.T., Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
I bet you number 3 is Poltergeist.
No way. It is Poltergeist.
Wow.
Number 4, Annie,
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Firefox, Blade Runner,
Clint Eastwood.
The Thing,
Yeah.
Grease 2,
That's terrible.
Hanky Panky, and
I don't know what that is.
Megaforce.
Megaforce.
Megaforce. I don't know what hanky panky is though.
You got
Yeah,
two
you
kids.
do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you.
So here's the thing, too, is that one.
They made a sequel?
So here's the thing.
The Thing 2?
They made not a follow-up, but a retelling of, and it's in book form, and it's called The Things, and it's from the Things perspective of these events throughout, and it's basically just like.
Wait, what is this?
It's a book. That
I want to
was made
read this
after
book,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think that would be interesting.
No, because this thing, it seems terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just trying to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The entire movie, it's like, it's just trying to leave. It doesn't know that it's doing anything wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the book, is that it's like, I don't understand why these creatures don't want to be assimilated and like join my communion and join my.
Hive mind.
Right.
Hey, I'm just trying to invite them in.
Right. It does a good job at
Yeah.
it.
So.
I'll just keep my individuality. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So $1.5 million were spent on special effects for this movie.
That's it?
Yep, that's it for 1982.
That's impressive.
It is.
Because the practical effects in this are insane.
Yeah.
And can
Literally
only
insane.
come from the mind of a crazy person.
So the special effects artist that was working on this movie after the movie was done, and they were saying that he was working like round the clock 7 days a week, and whenever they finished filming this movie, he had to be hospitalized for exhaustion.
I can imagine.
And the whole goal was that whenever they were filming, every time they showed The Thing, they wanted a different shot of it. They didn't want anything that was recreated or reused.
And they sure did a great job at that.
Oh, 100%.
Where was this filmed at? Was it?
Antarctica.
It was filmed there?
I don't know.
No.
I mean, the production design is great on.
I don't remember where they filmed the outdoor scenes, but most of it was actually filmed on a soundstage that they had to get like special air conditioner temperature controlled things. And they lowered the set to 40 degrees
Yeah, that makes sense.
in LA during like 100-degree heat.
There's where $2 million went.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
According to John Carpenter, he takes all his failed movies pretty hard, but this film's initial negative reception disappointed him the most. Not only was it a box office bomb, but critics panned it for its gory effects, tone, and characters. Vincent Canby called it too phony looking to be disgusting. It qualifies as instant junk. David Keir wrote it was hard to tell who's being attacked and much harder to care. Likewise, Robert Ebert, disappointed by the superficial characterizations and the implausible behavior, and dismissed the film as nothing more than an Alien knockoff.
Yeah. Kind
Carpenter
of got that feeling when
Yeah.
I was watching it.
Carpenter was particularly upset that Christian Nibby, the director of the original The Thing from Another World from 1951, publicly denounced Carpenter's version, saying, "If you want blood, go to the slaughterhouse. All in all, it's a terrific commercial for J&B Scotch." In his response to the commercial, in response to the commercial bombing of the film, the studio canceled the multi-picture deal that they had with Carpenter, who noted that his career would have been different if the film had been successful. Not surprisingly, he was extremely relieved when the film enjoyed a rich cult success following its home video release, along with the critical reevaluation that it received. Acting, anything like that? I mean, obviously, we're going to talk oodles about the special effects. It's just insane.
For some reason, Kurt Russell plays a paranoid dude really well. I don't know how he did it. He probably did a whole bunch of coke. It was
Probably.
1982.
Probably.
So He did a great job being paranoid, and so did most of the rest of the cast.
Right. Kurt Russell was a badass in this movie.
Yeah,
though,
Kurt Russell was.
Greedy.
Everybody wanted
Yeah.
to be Kurt Russell in this movie
Yeah.
because he didn't care.
I love Wilford Brimley
Yeah.
going from being like insane to just like,
No, it's cool.
it's fine. I'm good.
Well, there's
Totally
a reason
okay.
for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, let me in. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Well, I'm fine now.
I'm better now. Let me in. I don't want to be in here anymore. And I was like,
I want me
shut
in
the
there.
door.
Don't worry that there's
I
a
got
noose
questions.
hanging on the
Yeah.
corner.
I got questions about
Yeah.
that dude.
Okay.
And we'll get to it.
Have any of you guys seen The Thing that
The
came out in
remake?
2000? Not the
11.
remake. It's a prequel.
I know it's a prequel, but like people that haven't seen that though, they don't know that it's a prequel until the end of the movie because it's a spoiler.
Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, the Norwegian research team.
Yeah, but they're not gonna.
I mean,
And it has. I mean, it has some big name actors in it from whatever. I
yeah, Joel
remember.
Egerton.
Yeah.
I like him.
Elizabeth.
Mary Elizabeth.
She's the girl.
Winstead.
She's in like Scott Pilgrim and
Gotcha.
a couple other things.
Yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
like her.
It's good. I don't.
A lot of people do not like that movie at all. But
I didn't think
yeah.
it was terrible.
I didn't think it was.
It's just not the original. Like,
It's not the thing.
Also, like,
and it's called The Thing. Yeah. Like,
it was kind of a pain in the ass that they did
I
that.
can
I
imagine.
wish that they would have just made that movie and it be the prequel and not ever call it The Thing.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just make the movie and name it something different. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of it, you're like, holy shit.
It's the thing.
It's like the sequel
The
to the, or the
prequel.
prequel to The Thing. Yeah.
Kind of like how Split was for like Unbreakable.
Yeah. I
You know?
love it when they do that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else of note about the movie before
No,
we
I
get
just,
into it?
yeah.
No.
No.
No. Would you recommend people watch this movie? And if so, who would you recommend?
I
watch
think it is a must if you're a horror fan.
Yeah, 14 and up.
Yeah.
I would agree with.
It's a must. You have to watch it. It's only practical effects, you know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's insane.
But it's-
even like the fire scenes are like real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's insane.
Here's the thing too is that yes, there are some pretty good jump scares in it as well, but very few movies that match the atmosphere of this one with the paranoia that every single person
You feel
has.
alone.
Right.
Yeah, you feel alone watching the movie. Like
Yeah. And
no escape. Like
Yeah.
what the hell are you gonna do? You know?
and even on rewatches, I still will think like, are they infected now?
Right.
Is this person infected
right.
now?
When did they get infected? Like,
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That was one of my gripes about the movie is they never showed when people got infected, how
But
they got infected.
But they do. You don't notice it, and it's like, oh, did they get infected by that? There's a scene where the dog's underneath the table, okay, and then one of the guys kind of reacts to the dog. It's like, oh, and then later on in the movie, same thing happens, and the guy doesn't react at all to it. But you don't notice that on your initial viewing. Like, there's so many little things like that where you're like,
I'm sure that
"Whoa."
there's some research out there showing exactly when these people get infected.
Oh, yeah.
Because it really does just take a drop of the blood. Mm-hmm. And it's a parasite, so it can go in you anyway. And obviously, the blood works on its own, like it moves around on its own, like
Yeah.
it's live, you know?
yeah, like you said, each piece is its own.
So it could
Entity.
crawl up your leg. It could do whatever it needs to get inside of you. That's why it's so terrifying. How
Just
the
a
hell are you going to
touch.
get away from it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're done.
infected.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And that's the thing is they all still act the same. They have the same memories. They,
Until they're completely taken over.
right.
no, even,
Well, yeah, they still have the memories, but they don't know. You don't know you're infected until it's taken you over.
Well, spoilers on your account, Lee.
Here we go.
Here we go. But first,
Trivia.
trivia. Question 1. What Scotch whiskey is prominently featured throughout the movie?
J and B.
J&B. Rare blend.
Yeah.
But we'll take J&B. Who torches the assimilated dogs?
McCready. No, David Keith's character. Can't think of his name.
Keith David's.
Yeah.
David.
I'll take it.
You're right.
Childs.
Yeah, Childs. Yeah.
Number 3. Whose clothes were found outside?
McCready's.
That's correct. Number 4. Who is the last to pass the blood test?
The old dude, Hallahan.
Yeah, it's the doctor.
Gary.
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 He's not a doctor. He's the one that had the
He's the
sidearm.
general. Like
The
he's like
sidearm.
he's like in charge, the
Right.
boss, whatever he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 5. What are the last words of the movie?
Oh shit.
Okay, so he says, well, if either of us are, we're in no shape to do anything about it. Mm-hmm. So let's just sit here a while.
He's like, I'm just gonna sit here for a while.
Yeah. Why don't we just wait here a little while, see what happens.
Yikes.
Solid. Bonus question. Which of the following is not true? A. The movie was nominated for an Oscar for Best Special Effects. B. The movie was nominated for a Razzie for musical score. C. Casting initially wanted Jeff Bridges for the role of R.J. McCready. Or D, unused music was repurposed for Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight. So which of those four is not true?
3 of them are true?
3 of them are true, and you need
It's
to
the
pick-
Razzie. They didn't have Razzies in 82.
Yeah, I'm going to say Razzies too.
It was actually A. This movie was not
Oscar.
nominated for...
They had Razzies in 82?
They did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And funny enough, too,
Bunch of
is
haters.
that
Yeah. Make something yourself.
John Carpenter, it sounds very John Carpenter, where it's just like dun dun.
Yeah, at the beginning, he's trying the classic Halloween / Jaws 2-note.
This was one of the first movies that he didn't actually compose for himself,
Yeah.
That's funny.
which I thought that was
I
hilarious.
mean, the score is really nothing to this.
No.
Their
I would
soundtrack,
disagree,
there's
but
like
yeah.
good songs in it, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, I didn't think the score didn't do anything for me.
No.
Oh, I liked the score.
It's not
but
bad.
dun-dun,
It's
you know.
just not Halloween or Jaws or
Right. Well, you're not going to compare to John
national
Williams,
anthem.
John Williams and
Yeah, John Carpenter did do Halloween too, but Halloween as well.
Correct.
When Quentin Tarantino did The Hateful Eight, he thought of it as a remake of The Thing, but just a Western version. So that's why he got Kurt Russell for the role of that character.
Oh, he's so
to
good in that
replay-
movie.
Yeah.
that movie's great.
It is
Yeah.
great.
I love Walter.
Have you
Goggins.
watched the 4-part version of it?
I have
I
not.
have
Is
not.
it good?
It's good.
Is it better?
Yeah, there's just more to it. Yeah,
Walter
but it
Goggins.
also lets you step away because
Yeah.
it's like an hour and 20 minutes. It's like 4.5 hours long in parts. You know,
I could watch Walter Goggins do just about anything.
Yeah.
That guy's great.
He was excellent in that movie. So yeah, this is the first of John Carpenter's feature films where he did not score himself. Film's original choice of composer was Jerry Goldsmith, but he passed, and Ennio
Morricone.
composed a very low-key Carpenter-like score filled with brooding and menacing bass chords. Morricone's score would be dubiously nominated for a Razzie for worst score. But he also recorded the music before the scenes were sent to him, and so he just put out
made
like
some stuff up.
made some stuff up, and they're like, hey, just put it in wherever you feel necessary. But all right, let's get into our long-form discussion.
Sweet.
Do we open up with McCready first?
No, we open up with,
We
the,
open up with the
spaceship
spaceship.
into the Earth's atmosphere and
Right.
crashing.
We assume.
Well, I mean, you see the flames like it's coming into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that's where it starts, and then it goes to the helicopter.
Right.
And at this point in time, there's like no music. It's like silence. You know what I mean? It's weird. You see a helicopter chasing a husky and firing down, trying to shoot the husky.
That's
Yeah.
a terrible shot.
He is a terrible shot, but I'm pretty sure he was flying the helicopter and shooting.
No.
He
There
was
was
hanging
a
out the window.
Was there a second guy?
There's a second guy, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't pay attention to that.
It's kind of a long scene where they are chasing it all the way through, get our U.S. research base where the dog kind of runs out. And we get like a small introduction for our character.
They're just outside, I think. It doesn't really, I don't think it introduces
Because I feel
them,
like,
does it?
because we get R.J. McCready and he's playing the chess wizard. And
Yeah, he loses.
He loses and he's like,
pours his drink into
cheating
it.
bitch, and
Yeah.
he pours his drink into it and
Yeah.
fries the computer. 82, I can't imagine that thing didn't cost like a shit ton of
Fortune.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is an Antarctic research station.
Right.
It may have had
We also
something.
don't know that this movie takes place in 1982.
No.
There's no time when this takes place. It's just filmed in 82.
Actually, do believe they say the year in the movie.
Do they?
Yeah, 1982.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty certain.
what do you know?
What do you know?
The more you know.
Right?
The dog comes into the American base, and the Norwegian lands a helicopter. He's still shooting at the dog.
Yeah.
Shooting towards the American researchers. And they're like, holy crap. And they're taking cover. And this is when Hallahan busts out the window instead of just coming out. Like,
Yeah.
good job busting the window out in your Antarctica.
Research
right?
station. Yeah.
He busts it out, and he starts shooting at the Norwegian, and he ends up taking him out and killing him.
So the dog runs up behind somebody's leg, and then he starts yelling in Norwegian, and he actually shoots one of the guys in
He
the
shoots
leg.
in the leg.
I guess, and I don't speak Norwegian, but whenever I was doing research for this movie, he's saying, "Get away from it! It's infected. It'll infect you."
But they have no idea what he's saying.
right.
Exactly.
And there's no subtitles for it either, so
No.
you have no idea what's going on.
No.
Either.
And then the helicopter explodes.
Yeah.
And how did the helicopter explode?
I think they were shooting. Honestly, I don't know. I just watched it
We're
too.
great. We are so good.
I really don't know the answer, the Americans witnessed the passenger accidentally blow up the helicopter and himself.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Sure.
It has become a tradition in the British Antarctic Research Station to watch The Thing from 82 as part of their Midwestern Feast, a celebration held 21st of June every single
Well, there's
year.
nothing warm and cozy about that, huh?
Right.
No.
I did look it up, and this was filmed in British Columbia and Alaska. I mean, so it was for realsy cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That's real snow.
But also, I mean, I don't know how you fake that.
Right.
Because,
Even the biggest snow machines are...
yeah, you're not going to create that wind and that, you know.
To give the illusion of icy Antarctic conditions, interior sets on LA, sound stages were refrigerated down to 40 degrees while it was over 100 degrees outside.
I mean, it gets so then you don't have to mess with the breath. They're all going to have the breath. You know what I mean? It's going to look cold. It's going to, and they're all dressed warm, so it's, you know,
right.
it's whatever.
We get introduced to all of our characters, which there's like 12 or 13 guys.
There's quite a bit of them, and some are lower characters. You know, you have your Kurt Russell, your Wilford Brimley, your
David.
Yeah, you have all these characters that are established more. But McCready and Dr. Cooper, they're like, we're going to go to the Norwegian base, and they're like, are you sure? Getting windy out, there's a storm coming.
I'm going anyway.
He goes, I'm going anyway.
doing it.
So they go, and when they show up, this place is like frozen over, and they are walking around trying to figure out what's
it's
going
burnt.
on. But
Yeah.
like it's all frozen as well at
Yeah.
this point in time. Like it was already taken over. So they go in, they find a guy who had slit wrists and a slit throat, and then they go outside, gather up all like the research and stuff, everything that's around.
Right.
Then they go outside and they find this
Formed.
pile. He was like, "Is it human? What is it?" And
that a
McCready
man?
says, "Get a shovel." And I was like, "What are they going to bury it?"
Right.
And nope, they bring it back
Bring
with
back
them.
And
Yep.
during this time, too, the dog.
Mistake.
They're like, "Put that dog up. Put it where it goes."
But it's just wandering throughout
Yeah.
the military base.
It's not a military.
Well, no.
It's a
research
station.
Yeah.
Right. The very first night, too, we get kind of a cool shot where the dog's kind of working its way through the research base. And then
I mean, this is after McCready comes back.
Yeah.
So the dog's out this entire time.
Yeah.
Because they have the cook that's cooking that's playing. What song is he playing? It's a
very superstitious.
it's superstitious. And the dog is like comes up and looks in the kitchen, is like looking at him, learning.
Yeah.
Right. So they bring that stuff back, and Blair, Wilford Brimley, is doing the dissection,
Yeah.
and he was like, it has like human parts and
Like it's all normal human being stuff in here.
yeah, and it's just
All the
like
organs
this
are-
mound of like flesh and disgustingness,
Bone,
and,
yeah.
and teeth. Yeah, it's really messed up looking.
And it's like half burnt, but also frozen.
Right.
And
But it's important to say that this dog has been walking around like unattended.
Hours.
Which is insane because all the other dogs are kenneled. So
Right.
someone finally was like, put the dog up.
what
Put the
hell are
dog
you
up
doing?
where it goes.
So Clark goes and puts the dog up.
Well, first night, we get the dog. We don't know how much time has passed, but we assume that most, if not everybody, is asleep. And the dog wanders into a room, and you just see the outline of somebody's shadow. And in order to keep the audience guessing, John Carpenter actually had a stuntman sit in to where it didn't look like anybody else on the
Anybody on the
cast.
cast, yep.
So that it wouldn't be immediately recognizable that, oh, that's the first one that got infected.
Right.
He's spending a lot of time around Clark, the dog handler, kind of like, oh, yeah, Clark's kind of acting a little weird here.
Proximity.
Right. And so, yeah, Clark takes the dog
and they
into
also make Clark look like pale.
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
dead.
Lifeless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lifeless. Yeah.
Clark takes the dog into the dog kennel. And I want to say, too, I don't know any other dog that would cooperate this well as that much.
Huskies, man.
They're super smart.
Well, they're super smart and they're super trained.
Yeah.
So like all those huskies are sled dogs. Even the Norwegian huskies are sled dogs, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So like he's putting it in with other huskies. You know something's up with the dog, right? You know something is going
You know, the
on.
dog is acting weird.
Right. But when it opens up, it slowly walks in and all the other huskies are kind of looking at it and it sets down
Something
and it's
wrong.
staring straight ahead and he shuts the door and locks it and walks away. But you get the, oh shit, something's up with this dog.
Not real good with
Right.
this. Yeah.
The guy is shooting at it. There are no red flags like there's something wrong with this dog.
Right. Why are you shooting at the dog? What'd the dog do?
Right. You guys are scientists.
Yeah.
And you're not like, hey, why is he shooting at this dog? He's just lost his mind or whatever. But,
Right.
Oh, they do say that. They say he has the whatever it is when you're up there for too long, you can go crazy.
Cabin fever.
Yeah, well, yeah, they call it something in it.
Yeah,
It might be that, but he's like, Norwegians have gone crazy. They've been up here
too long.
Too long.
They also say too that Windows, the radio technician, is just like, I haven't heard anybody.
can't get anybody.
For the last 2 weeks.
He's
I
like,
couldn't get
try
anybody.
try harder. And he's like, what do you mean try harder?
Right.
He's like, I literally can't get anyone at
Yeah.
all. No one.
Right.
Try harder.
Okay. The dog opens up and like tentacles.
All these
gross
tentacles
and
come out.
flicking around everywhere.
Yeah. And it starts
Taking the
assimilating
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah. The dogs start freaking out and barking, and then
Clark flies and he
and-
screams.
yeah, you also hear McCready in the back, and he hears that something's going on with the dogs as well. I love that McCready comes in with Clark, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like this is going on, and then tells Childs or somebody, he's like, "Mac wants the flamethrower. Mac wants the what? Mac wants the flamethrower."
I want to know what the purpose of an Antarctic research facility needs a flamethrower for.
Maybe to melt ice.
Yeah,
to
I could see
warm
that.
equipment up to
Yeah.
like melt stuff around.
I mean, I guess.
It would do it real quick.
Yeah, melting off the road or melting
Anyway,
off the side.
I'm glad they had it.
doors. For sure.
They had multiple.
Right?
And not only
2 flamethrowers.
Not only that, though, but McCready learned that, oh, well, this assimilation thing was burned, so maybe this is the weakness to this. So instead of just shooting at it like, Clark and a couple of these other guys were doing, he's like, no, I'll get the flamethrower because they ain't doing it. They flame the dog,
Crispy.
and it's completely disgusting. I wanted to point out, too, that a small part of one of the assimilated dogs escapes through the ceiling.
It like punches through the ceiling.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And then they fry the one that's right there. And they're like, yeah, this is not good at all. We're not going to go through scene by scene of the movie, but there's a point, too, where they have this research where McCready and somebody else go out and they go look at where the alien spacecraft landed. During this scene, too...
That was when McCready went to the Norwegians. McCready and the...
No, this was
No, it's
later.
it's a second time because he's like it was after the dog.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we got to figure
What's
out what
going
the
on with
hell
this?
is going on.
Right.
Because then they're like, hey, it's really storming out. It's like 45 knots, and he was like, I don't care.
And they're going
I'm
through, but they're going through the footage of the Norwegians the Norwegians were the first people that found this spacecraft. And he's like, I know kind of around the area that they're at, and they kind of map out based on where the Norwegians' base is that this is where
Right.
it'd
So
be.
they went to the Norwegians' base, and then they went to where the Norwegians were working
Later.
at the dig site,
Right. Yeah.
which
they
was
went to-
separate from where their camp was.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I looked this up. It is explained that the flamethrowers were to defrost stuff.
Wow.
At the base. And the Norwegians had them as well.
Yeah.
For the
Well,
same
they burned
purpose.
everything as well.
Well, right. They thought about that, and
Right.
that is why they have the flamethrowers. I'm like, all right.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Works for me.
So
I'm not mad about it.
No.
No.
It made the movie way better.
Anybody
Oh,
put anytime you can work a flamethrower into a movie,
you do it.
You do it.
you got it. You got it.
One thing Elon Musk got right.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I know. Should have bought
Flamethrowers.
one of those when I had the chance.
You should
Yeah,
have.
not a flamethrower. Anyway,
Don't tell me how to live my life, Calvin.
I didn't say that. That's what they were called. They
I
were
thought you
called
said not a
flame-
flamethrower.
That's what they were called, right?
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
they,
they were
couldn't call
called
them-
not a flamethrower because they couldn't call them flamethrowers.
I thought you were telling me that I couldn't own a flamethrower.
Oh, dude, you can own a flamethrower.
Thanks, buddy.
You let me know when I'll shoot it with you, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sweet.
Wonder what they go for now.
Probably
eBay.
what?
They don't sell those on eBay.
Hey, I can get a cheap one.
You want a flamethrower? I can get you a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Get you a flamethrower with nail polish on it.
Yeah.
Big Lebowski at the toe.
Okay, it's been a minute.
Oh, I was just going to say I could get a lighter and then get some spray. I'm not going to tell you what kind of spray, but we can make a homemade flamethrower.
Hairspray. Psh, was a little firebug when I was a kid.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know my dad's not listening, so I almost set our garage on fire. Yeah, we can do.
I know a kid that made a Molotov cocktail, burned his barn down. And
What'd you do that for?
I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. And anyway,
Moving on.
moving on.
Flamethrowers in the Antarctic. It's the best thing ever.
Not bad.
sure.
$300 to $400.
You'll have one by next week.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. I'll bring it.
Not to the house. Here, let's try it out in their basement.
Concrete. You'll be fine.
Concrete.
It's concrete. Yeah, don't worry
Everything
about
else
the
is wood.
walls. Don't worry about the.
We'll put it in your scary bathroom and say
Right.
in a glass case that says break in case for emergencies.
Yeah,
Break in case of thing.
Yeah.
case of-
Yeah. You're gonna have the most kick-ass bathroom
That'd be awesome.
ever.
The most movie-themed bathroom you've ever seen
Right.
in your life.
Spooky dookie room.
God damn it! All right, where are we at? I'm lost.
Where
So-
are we even in the movie?
They go, they
the
see
ship.
the ship, they come back. I think that Wilford Brimley is finishing up the dissecting of
The Cronenberg.
Slowly getting
Cronenberg.
diabetes.
And then it starts leaking onto the floor, and you think it's just like melting.
Oh, it's
But
real
then
slow.
it starts moving
Yeah.
towards whoever is in the room, and you're like, "Eee." So this movie, I'm just gonna be honest, this movie's kind of a blur for me because there's a lot of scenes where I'm like, oh shit, are they getting infected? Are they getting infected?
Right.
And then it all kind of leads up to
So
where it is.
after this scene, he's running the computer simulations.
right.
And
From Alien.
the computer tells him that within a matter of years, the entire Earth will be assimilated.
74,000 hours humanity.
I don't think it's that many. Is
Yeah,
it?
it was.
74,000
Yeah.
hours.
There's a 75% chance that they're all infected already.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. No, that at least one person's
Yeah,
infected
at least
all over.
at
Yeah.
least one of the crew has been infected.
Yeah. So Brimley learned, we're like,
screwed.
yeah. So he starts doing preventative measures where as soon as Creedy and them come back from seeing spaceship, he busts open, pulls out all the control panels for the helicopter so they can't leave.
Right.
And then also he messes up
The radio.
so that nobody can contact. And then also,
I don't think this is yet, though, because the malformed human remains gets Bennings.
Yeah.
And McCready burns Bennings.
Right.
Right before that.
But how did they know that Bennings is infected? That's what I was
That's
trying
the thing.
to
They
do.
don't know about the infection yet. They don't know what's going on, why any of this is happening.
Well, that's because he was by himself, and then the guy walks in and sees him. He's like in the corner, and he's getting assimilated.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's screaming, but then he's gone when they come back in. And then,
Yeah, Bennings, he has the crab arms.
right.
Right. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So they fry Bennings alive, and then they're like, well, this is not good.
Right. Yeah. So this is when Blair loses his shit, and they take him to the tool shed.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
busts up the
He's,
radios and, all the
and he's trying to
computers
shoot
and everything.
everyone. And honestly, he's like, you can't trust anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but he's really doing something else, right? We find out later. He's like busting everything up
Mm-hmm.
where no one can communicate with anyone. He's isolating the group.
Yep.
He does
'Cause he
it.
knows that-
he does it to the helicopter. He does it to the snowmobile, at least one of them.
Yeah.
And then when they find him, he's doing it to the communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knows that they're all screwed. They're as good as dead anyway right now.
Right.
So he doesn't know who to trust, but...
And he kills the remaining sled dogs.
And that sets
Clark off.
Off. Yeah.
We're getting strong vibes that Clark is infected. 100%.
Yeah, you really get that feeling from him.
You want to think Clark is infected because of his proximity and time with
Right.
the dog.
Yeah, and just his overall attitude.
Right. So once they tie Blair in the shed,
They sit down and they all know that, oh, so it can change shape and it can take the form of any one of us.
right.
Cooper suggests testing for infection by comparing the crew's blood against the
Yeah.
uncontaminated blood
Yeah,
held
yeah.
in the storage.
And the only one that had the key was Gary.
Gary
Yeah.
and Doc.
And Doc. Yeah.
McCready takes command. He, Window, and Knowles find Fuse' burnt corpse and surmises
yeah.
that he committed suicide. So here's the thing, though, is that Fuse actually finds McCready's uniform outside. And
Right.
it has holes in it. And somebody else earlier on in the movie said that, who left the dirty drawers in
Knowles
the kitchen?
found it in the trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Cook. And then McCready takes it. He figures out that it
Assimilate, your clothes, but Fuse finds McCready's clothes outside. And here's my theory, is that I think that he knows that McCready is the only rational person there.
Yeah.
And he's so outspoken that clearly he's not the Thing. But I also feel like the Thing is trying to pit everybody against McCready. Thing steals McCready's clothes and makes it
Plants
look
it.
like that. But Fuse is kind of walking outside and he knows that something is out around him, right? So I think that he burns McCready's clothes, but also incinerates himself and kills himself to prevent himself from being assimilated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they go outside and they find his burnt corpse. And then I think McCready even mentions that of like, well, he probably did this to keep himself from being infected. Windows returns to the base while McCready and Knowles investigate McCready's shack. During the return, Knowles abandons McCready in the snowstorm, believing that he has been assimilated after finding his torn clothes in like more torn clothes in the shack.
Right.
Team debates whether or not to allow McCready inside, but he breaks and holds the group at bay with dynamite, which I also feel like this is his trump card against the Thing, because he's like, if I was the Thing, why would I threaten to kill everybody?
Right.
Because he also turns the power off as well, so it forces everybody into that area.
Right.
So this is when we get one of the most famous scenes in the entire movie, where we still don't know who had the keys to the blood. They're still debating amongst themselves about it. And then he ties every single one of them up. What he does is he has them all draw.
Well, no, Norris has the heart attack first.
Does he?
Norris
Okay,
has a
yeah,
heart
yeah.
attack
Norris has a
first.
heart attack.
Yeah,
and
and Cooper attempts to defibrillate him, and his chest opens up
compressions.
and eats his arms,
yeah.
Cooper's arms.
Yeah.
Did that get you guys? Because that got me.
Oh
like,
my God, yeah. I
didn't-
jumped.
It's
Yeah.
more
really-
than one chest compression, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like the fifth or sixth one, and it always gets me because I'm like, is it this one?
And
No,
this is
it
when
one?
he incinerates him, and his head detaches off the back of the, and it falls
Turns
to the
into a
ground, and
spider.
it turns into a spider.
And they're like,
and,
and then it
it's
crawls
creeping.
out and nobody sees it.
Well, they turn around
he
and see it
sees it,
eventually,
yeah.
and incinerates it.
How did you not see it walk past you?
I think that McCready saw it, but then he's like, man, what the hell is that? And then he burns the crap out of it after he shows Nala's.
And this is when he was like, look, even the blood is moving. So the Thing hates the heat. So let's test everyone's blood, and we'll put the heat to it, and we will know
Firsthand.
So one by one, he tests the dead guys first.
Yep.
Because
And then-
he shoots
and
Frank.
Clark's dead. They shot him.
McCready shot him.
Yeah.
Because he was coming at him.
Yeah,
So he
shot
kills
him right in the head.
Right in the face. Yeah.
So that just makes you a murderer.
Right. So yeah, he tests his blood. Not
Nothing.
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: when they filmed this, it was some guy's hand holding the blood vial. Okay, so it sets you up because it tests how many people's blood, like 4 or 5 people's blood. Whenever it gets to the Thing's blood, then it pops up.
Right.
Because it's not like a jump cut to where it's the same shot you've seen, 5 or 6 times
Yeah.
in a row now.
I
Get you.
did jump on that.
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
I mean,
was like, oh shit.
I jumped a little, but it was just like,
It's a split second.
what are you going to do to show a reaction? Like, what kind of reaction are you going to get from this?
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, I know something's going to happen
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but what's it going to be?
Also,
and
they
never
didn't
seeing
think,
it before.
Let's tie everyone together. One of them is the Thing. You're
now
all tied
all
together.
screwed.
Right?
And they are all like, get us away, get us away.
One of them gets thrown against the wall.
Yeah, Palmer is the one that is tested positive as soon as he hits the wire. That
It's
thing.
done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it
the blood
starts
shoots up.
wigging out.
So they burn him, and then they burn the guy next to him that also got infected.
Affects windows.
So then you've got...
You got Gary
Gary.
left, Childs, Knowles.
So I love this part, too, because it's just those 3 left, and it's McCready. Because the other 2 that, pested out, they died, too. Like Windows and then the guy for him, they both died during this encounter as well with the Thing.
Right.
And one by one, it shows him testing the blood, and then it jump cuts to them standing right next to him, and then they test Childs, and then Childs is on the other side with the other flamethrower.
Yeah.
And then they test Gary, and Gary's not infected. And then he goes, I know that things have been...
I'd like to not be tied to this
Just
couch
got
anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody untie me!
It's the final act. They're like, we're going to go test Blair.
And when they go and test Blair
The
is
door's
gone.
open, and Blair's
And
gone.
we did miss earlier that when they go out to check on Blair has been completely crazy this entire time.
And he's calm.
And then the next time they see him, he's just calm.
And
there's
I'm
a
telling you,
noose right
this
next to
scene,
him.
there's a noose right in front of him.
Yep.
And this scene is very unnerving.
Yes.
Because he says, I'm better now. I'd like to come in now. And they're like, we don't know
I
about
don't think
that.
so.
And he runs up to the door and he's like, I really want to come in now, please. And I was like, shut the
And then
door.
shut it,
He's
shut it.
totally the Thing.
Yeah. So they go back and they check out on Blair, and then as they're going through, one of the loose floorboards or something's going on,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, what's going on under here? Blair has made a tunnel and took in random things from
Well,
out
I
the
think,
camp.
to me, that is why he busted the camp up.
This
Yeah.
is where
You
I
get
fall
lost.
apart.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand what the hell. There's no way physically one man is going to dig a hole under the tool shed and build a spacecraft from spare parts in the span of this friggin' movie.
You also don't know how long Blair's been infected. He
We
could
don't
have been
know how
infected for
long-
months.
Yep, because Blair was there before any of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have been infected. He's been building that for a while.
Right.
And that's why I'm like,
he had to have been infected before the thing showed up at the camp.
I agree with that. I've always thought that.
There's no other way.
There's no way a human being dig in snow. Permafrost, even with a shovel.
We don't know the capability of the thing because
their capability is as physical as a human because they assimilate them as a human.
But also during multiple parts during this movie, there's not just one thing. And the thing is a collective hive mind. And there's also a tunnel that runs into the building. It's not just going underneath of Blair's thing. I think there's a tunnel that connects it to the main building.
But even then, how
Even
much
then,
time did he have to build a flying saucer? Because that's what's in there is a flying saucer.
Right. It's a spacecraft.
It's not completed yet.
No,
though,
it's not. But still, again, if
the concept
if one
of
is
it.
to assume that he wasn't infected until the movie started, there isn't a physical possible way that cave exists.
I mean, also,
it's just
he's on the computer seeing how long it would take to get assimilated. Maybe he was already infected and he's just seeing how long it'd take to assimilate the entire Earth.
Wow.
It's possible.
You know,
I feel like he had to have been infected before the movie started.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know. That's just me.
No,
it's a good theory.
It
you
is.
know what I mean?
It's a question I want answered.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to
Probably not going to get one.
Probably not.
Yeah, they find the spacecraft. Blair's been busy. The thing has been busy. And Childs just disappears. Blair has turned off the power because we realize that the thing doesn't need to escape.
Nope, he can freeze and go into hibernation like it did before because when they went to the crash site, you saw the ship. And then 50 yards away from the ship, you find the square hole, which they dug out and took back to their facility.
Right.
So he crashed, he crawled out, he froze and hibernated.
Yeah.
And the snow covered him. And then they found him probably thousands of years later.
So they're like, well, we got to turn the heat back on or we got to get this place real hot. And McCready says, we ain't making it out of this.
Yeah, we're not getting out of this alive. And neither is it.
So
Let's get cozy.
Yeah. They start putting dynamite throughout the entire place.
They're going to blow it all to shit.
Gary gets infected and we have no idea where Childs went because it's just, McCready, Nora, and Gary. And then Knowles, he just goes into shock, I'm guessing, and then just follows Gary and Knowles is done too. We get McCready. He notices that they're both gone and he assumes that they're just infected. He kind of has like a confrontation with, and then he takes the dynamite and he throws it at it and it's like, yeah, well, fuck you too.
It's just the part where the thing comes out of the ground, like it rushes underground.
Yeah, this is after it puts his fingers into Gary's face.
Ugh.
Yeah, that scene was...
That was Blair that did that to Gary.
Also, I did look it up, and it is been said that Blair was the first one infected. He started the ship immediately, and his temper tantrum was a ruse for them to put him in the cabin because they knew that he would get isolated. And so that is part of the subscript character development, that Blair was the very first one infected.
Wow.
So
crazy.
It's crazy.
I still don't understand how he dug a cave and built a ship in the span of that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's less than a day.
Yeah, I bet I mean, they don't
No,
know.
I would say at least a week, if not 2 weeks.
No. There's one night. The dog shows up.
Yep.
That night, the next day, it's it. That's it. That's the whole movie. There's no way he dug a goddamn cave in a day. Less than a day, because he doesn't even freak out until the next day.
Could be.
I'm looking right now.
I'm
There's
telling
gotta be
you.
Answers.
Anyway.
So much for this being a short podcast.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of editing.
That's okay.
So, yeah,
we're all tired.
Knowles gets infected. Gary's infected. They kind of form into one humanoid being, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Go underground and
start charging at Creedy, and
it's crazy.
He blows them all up. And the end of the movie is just the entire camp is in flames because they blew it all up. McCready's, half frozen and then drinking JB. Child just shows up. He's like, oh, where you been?
I got lost in the storm. Sure he did.
Okay. Also, one of the things, too, is that one of the hints during the blood lineup is that it's the only character that doesn't have a reflection in his eyes, okay?
Really?
Yeah. You rewatch it, he doesn't.
Dead eyes.
Yeah.
Weird. So it is also known that when the thing takes over someone, that person is dead.
Yeah.
And it assimilates its memories and retains that and personality to be able to assimilate, but the person's consciousness is gone. It is the thing at that point in time.
Yeah.
Was that instant? Do you think that's instant, or do you think it
I would assume
takes
so.
time?
Well, but if you also look that what's his name is getting assimilated and he has like the crap coming out of him, and the next time you see him, he's fine. You know what I mean? So it's probably a little bit of a torturous process. Yeah.
And also during the blood test scene with Windows, I mean, it is just, but it's almost like like immediate, but at that point in time too, it's like a high stress situation for it. So it's like, I can't take my time on this. I got to get going.
Right.
Childs has just shown up out of the blue. They're like, yeah, well, let's just see how this thing ends. And
roll credits.
So question, do you think that Childs is infected? Is McCready infected? Are they both infected? Are they not either of them infected?
I don't think McCready ever got infected.
Yeah, I don't think McCready ever got infected, and it's 50-50 on Childs.
Yeah.
But the fact that Childs still has the flamethrower tells me he's not.
But he's also wearing a different coat than he has throughout the rest of the movie. And
6 days.
Really?
6 days.
Yeah.
6
and there's
days.
an actual timeline.
Well, they make that movie seem like it was 2 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I thought that there was more than one night scene.
So it's 6 days, but when the dog arrives, that's when Blair gets infected
Immediately.
Yeah, and so for 6 days he was digging and building.
Wow.
Okay. I still don't think he digs a cave.
But there's
in 6
also
days.
more than one people infected as well. But
True.
Yeah.
Could have help.
2011, The Thing, they also established that people with fillings, because they start finding teeth in that one, and so it can assimilate like metal.
Yeah.
Only
Childs
organic matter.
Childs does
he
have an
did.
earring on at the end of the movie as well.
Yeah.
So could be, couldn't be. You know, at the end of the day, that's not the point of the movie. The
No.
point of the movie is paranoia.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's the
aliens
thing.
are terrifying.
Yeah, right. We forgot to go over our rating scale on our last one.
I don't know. I think some people,
Kinda
if we
get
have
the
to do it
gist.
every single
Right.
time, and I think
Yeah.
that
I think we could cover it with, we have an S through F. S is the best. F is the
sucks.
worst.
Yeah.
C
Your
is
average
middle
movie.
ground.
Yeah.
I
5
just
seconds.
did it.
Perfect. Yeah. With that being said, man, I really want to give this movie an S, but again, I just don't think I can.
I can't give this one an S.
I can't either.
Yeah.
I do think it is a
continuity issues.
superior
Superior movie.
horror film.
Yeah.
The paranoia, the people versus people. I know that some of the effects are cheesy in it, but I think it still holds up because it's not a human. It turns every time you see the monster, it's a completely different shape.
Yeah.
It takes different forms every single time, so you have no idea what it was, so it brings suspense to it. I think I'm a solid A. I don't even think I'm an A. I think I'm an A on it.
I give it an A as well. Again, it's very unique, especially when I watch older movies. You know, I look at the year it was made and I try to put myself in that time frame,
Right.
like what it would have been like to watch this in 1982, and it would have been mind blowing.
Right.
You say that, but everyone hated it.
Yeah.
For me,
That's why I know.
as
I just
a
think
movie
it's crazy.
fan.
But even movie fans hated it back
Well,
then.
yeah,
Which is
but
just insane to
I'm
me.
one of
Yeah.
those people though that I don't listen to critics.
Yeah.
I have to see it myself.
Oh,
And the
I-
critic says, "Oh, this is terrible." It's like, is it though?
I usually am like, I'm probably going to like it
Yeah.
if a critic is like that.
But this one was.
I have learned long ago that even if you get on like Rotten Tomatoes and sometimes the audience gives it a shitty score, and I'm like, but I really liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see where people didn't like it.
I understand
But
it.
like, I like certain aspects of it, and it made me feel a certain way. So I like it.
You know, going back to our Trash Can Film Festival with the ratings, the tomato meter, and the audience score, those 3 films that we watched had varying scores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that I thought was the worst had the highest audience score. So
Yeah.
it's just, it's all subjective. But I think, special effects, S.
Yeah.
Especially for 1982.
Yes.
It holds up. It's great. It is very tense. It's a super tense movie, and the paranoia is real. Like, I felt it watching the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
who do you trust?
You know what? I really feel like this movie could have been a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never say that. Like, or bring the cast down to like 7
Yeah.
instead of 15 or 14.
I don't even think it was that many. You think it? You
No,
think
they're
it
all
is.
lined up at
Yeah.
one point in time, and there's a ton of them.
Well, I mean,
But
there's quite a few.
I'm saying that I think there's too many people to get to know so fast.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And to care about.
Right.
Right. And then it would have been nice to somehow known how people get infected. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
Even if it's at the end.
Exactly.
You know
That
what I
was one
mean?
of my biggest questions. Like, how do they get infected? Who was infected? Is there multiple infected at one time? Is there?
They should make the movie of the book you talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it would be so cool to see a movie
The
from the
things.
dog's point of view.
Yeah.
Coming in, licking Blair. You know what I mean? It could
Yeah.
be as easy as that.
Yeah.
And Blair gets sick, gets infected, and instantly is like, I need to build.
Yeah, and
my
that's
ship.
another thing I want to know. What's the incubation time on this thing? Like,
Yeah,
it infects
there's
you.
so- but-
how long do you have before you're no longer
what a
you
great
anymore?
what a great movie to make you think about all these things.
Right,
Honestly, we looked so many things up. Like, how many days was it? You know, who was infected first? How long does it take? Are they alive or do they die instantly? Are they still in there?
Right.
And they're not. And like all those things that I'm sure the writer of it knew because it's their baby. You know what I mean?
And I understand you die.
Right.
But how long does that take?
Yeah.
Is it instant? Like as soon as you're introduced to the pathogen, whatever it is.
So I would think it would take as long as you can see the cells on the screen, the old 8-bit, and I think it would probably, my guess would take
a few hours
to assimilate your body, and you not even know it. You probably would start feeling sick, and and then you're assimilated. You got little tentacles coming out of you.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah. And how they did that is amazing. They had to have done it with air, just like a...
Dude, also kind of skipped over the sounds that this thing makes. It's cicadas.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Ugh. It's freaking like 2 different cicadas.
Yeah.
So,
and I was like, whoa, that is just creepy.
It's supposed to be a combination of everything that it's come in contact with up until this point. So you hear a little bit of human, you hear a little bit of dog, and then you hear a little bit of,
the cicadas.
Yeah.
When...
Yeah.
No, thank you. I give it an A. The parts that I have are just to gripe about are very small, but they do leave big gaps.
For sure.
So I give it an A. This is a movie that I might have to watch it again to see what I missed.
Yeah.
Because it was good.
Good.
It was definitely good.
Tell you that watching it on a second viewing and then going through with the knowledge of like, are they infected now?
Yeah.
Or are they?
Here,
I'm still going to feel like I don't know when everybody's infected.
Let me just real quick. So on day 1, the dog shows up about 12. No, the dog shows up at 8:30 in the morning. All the guys are relaxing about 8:25. The dog shows up at 8:30. By 12:30, the dog has already infected someone, which would be Blair.
4 hours.
4 hours has already infected someone. They put the dog in the kennel at 7 o'clock that night on day 1, and at 4:30 in the morning is when the dog attacks the other dogs.
Wow.
So
see, the movie made it think like
right then and there
it was instant.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying
That's
just
why,
gives you
like it may in the book, it may be 6 days,
right.
but in
right.
the movie, it was 2.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
And on the end of day 2, Blair goes berserk. So at the end of day 2, they put him in there. So he is in there for 4 days all by himself doing whatever he wants to do.
Wow.
And we don't know the power of the thing. It could grow tentacles and you
do whatever.
You have no, and we also don't know what's in the shed. There could be tools in the shed.
Oh, there were tools.
Well, I'm saying like flamethrowers.
It was a tool shed.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to put him in there with something he's going to be able to escape with.
That's true. So anyways, but yeah, there's an idea of just...
There's a timeline.
Yeah. And again, if they say it's 6 days in the movie, I'll believe it, but it sure felt like a lot less than 6 days.
And this is funny. So day 4, there are no events in the film that take place during the day. It takes place at day 5 at this time. You know what I mean?
So they skip a whole day and don't even tell you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
See, those are the things that I think would have made the film better.
Yeah.
I really think it would have made better if they would have gone 5, 6, 7 days.
Yeah. Or just had like a little thing.
Like day 2.
Day 3. Day 4. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Whatever.
I think I give the movie probably an A+, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it a lot of inspirations from Alien, which I love. I love the story of this. I love the characters. I love the just overall sense of dread and paranoia that this movie brings. And
it's a classic, man.
It is.
It is. So
it's technically sound, I thought. I thought it was shot well and the sound was good.
Yeah.
Again, the practical effects are off the chart good.
So this is, not to interrupt your rating, I'm sorry, but this isn't a movie I think, I got to watch the thing. To where now I am going to be like, I totally want to watch Poltergeist, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't give me that feeling. It's one that I can probably watch like every couple of years and be happy with that.
Right.
I'm fine with it, But it is phenomenal and highly recommended.
I think it's because, and for me, I'm the same way, when a movie doesn't have that conclusion of finality.
Conclusion and emotion. There's no emotion besides dread in this movie.
Yeah.
To where there are
there's no
funny things in other horror movies.
Yeah, there's no triumph.
It is just dread, yet done.
Yeah, your best case scenario is, I hope we don't kill the planet.
Right. Yeah. And also, I guess who cares at this point in time? Because are we infected? I don't,
Yeah.
Could be.
So
nothing I can do about it.
So what do you're giving it A+. I gave it A.
Got to be an A then.
I'm all right with an A. Yeah.
Cool.
Fine. Cool.
Outstanding.
Awesome. All right. Well, sounds good. I'll see you guys on Attack on Anime then.
Dope.
Sounds good.
Later.
Bye.
Oi.
Hello and welcome to the Postcast. I want to say thank you to all our loyal and new listeners. Shout out to all our new listeners and subscribers. Thanks for helping us and supporting us on this journey. We want to invite you all to check out our Facebook group or check out our Reddit sub. Be sure to tell us what you think the movie should be rated or what movie we should record next. And be sure to follow us wherever podcasts are found. Also, make sure to get caught up before our next Attack on Anime episode as we cover episodes 6 and 7 of Attack on Titan, coming October 17th. Also, check out our next Halloween movie review, October 21st, as we review the current 2024 hit starring Kyle Gallner and Willa Fitzgerald in Strange Darling. We hope you've enjoyed our program just as much as we did recording for you. Thank you, and stay tuned for our next episode.